Welcome back to another edition of the preview show. This week we've got the Players' Championship, which is the unofficial fifth major on the PGA Tour. Probably the strongest field that we'll see all season long, including the majors, just from a world ranking perspective. And as such, obviously has a lot of kudos thrown into the fact it's a Pete Dye course with an unbelievable last three holes to finish it off, including the very memorable 17th, the par 3 17th, where we've seen many a disaster over the years. In terms of the tournament this year, I think it's wide open, absolutely wide open. We've got some good players and some decent form. Obviously, Jason Day coming off a victory last week. He's got history here, having won in 2016. He's also somebody that tends to back up a victory with another good result, having never finished lower than 27th after a victory and actually followed up with another victory a couple of occasions too. So he's certainly somebody to look out for, and obviously the understandable favourite this week. In terms of the betting, I think places or a stat you need to look out for, particularly with regards to Sawgrass, it is a ball striker's paradise, and you have to be able to move and shape the ball both left and right. And it's all about strategy. So you want to think about pure ball strikers, and as I say, from stats, strokes gained approach to green is probably the most obvious stat to look out for. I saw something the other day which said over the last 12 years, 10 of those victories have had basically the player has been in the top 10 in this particular stat line. So definitely look at that as somewhere for your betting, somebody who's very strong on approaching to the green. With that in mind, my winner this week, I'm actually going with Henrik Stenson. Henrik's in decent form this year, came very close obviously with Rory a few weeks ago in Florida. He's a resident in Florida, knows those conditions pretty well, and has played very well here at the Players previously. And at 28-1, I think he's really decent value. So certainly for me, he's going to be my winner this week, I feel. He's due a victory. He's not won for a little while, but he's been there or thereabouts. So 28-1, decent odds. I did think about Jordan Spieth, purely because I think he's been a little bit under the radar. And I think I saw something the other day. He's the only person in the top 15 is the person in the top 15 who's the last one to have a victory. Who's had the longest wait since his last victory. So that's not going to last for long. So I do expect him to contend as well. In terms of looking at each way bets, I'm going to give you Bryson DeChambeau at 50-1. He's playing really solidly this season. We know he can shape the ball left to right. He loves a strategic course, does very well at Pete Dye courses as well, did very well at Harbour Towns, had a top 5 finish there. He's had 2 top 4s in his last 4 events. He's played well in Florida earlier in the season as well. At 50-1, I think he's decent value. So he's my each way bet at 50-1. And as outsiders, I think the best outsider bet I could see was Kyle Stanley at 90-1. So Kyle has previous decent form here. In fact, last year he was in the last couple of groups and ended up coming 4th at the event. He's an unbelievable ball striker. I think the challenge with him is a bit sort of Rory-esque or Rory-light in terms of it just depends on how his putter behaves. But as a ball striker, he's absolutely phenomenal, and he'll put it in the right positions this week. So at 90-1, I think he's decent odds. It was interesting to see last year's winner, Siwoo Kim, who I know has gone a little bit off the board. He's also 90-1. And he had a decent run at Harbour Town a few weeks ago as well. And in fact, should have won that event if he could putt. His putting was woeful on the final day. If he'd just held 1 or 2 putts, he would have won that tournament easily. So again, he's obviously a Pete Dye disciple, likes the course, likes the strategy. And at 90-1 is crazy long odds. But he's the sort of player that's boom or bust. He will turn up one week and then disappear for months on end and then turn up again with a victory. But he's still very young. So again, at 90-1, Siwoo Kim's not a bad little bet either. So there you have it. Just a quick one this week. I'm aware it's Thursday. I wanted to get this out before the event actually started. But Henrik Stenson's my winner this week. As always, comment below. Let me know what you think. Cheers. Bye.